In the heart of the African savannah, a sound defines the landscape. A lion's roar, a primal broadcast of power that can travel more than 8 kilometers across the open plains. But this thunderous call is far more than a simple announcement of presence. It is a complex message, a sonic map of ownership and intent. For rival males, it is an unambiguous warning: this territory is taken. For scattered members of the pride, it is a beacon, a rallying cry that reunites them in the vastness. This single vocalization shapes the character of the African savannah, dictating movement, inspiring fear, and reinforcing the intricate social bonds of the pride. This magnificent carnivore, Panthera leo, rules at the apex of the food chain. But its reign is not one of simple tyranny. The lion is a keystone species, an ecological architect whose decisions and very existence ripple through every layer of life here. As an apex predator, its fundamental role is to maintain balance as much as it is to exert dominance. By selectively hunting large herbivores, lions perform a vital service. They prevent overgrazing, ensuring the grasslands don't become barren dust bowls. This selective pressure also strengthens the herds themselves, as it is often the weaker, older, or less vigilant individuals that are culled. This act of predation sustains the health of the entire ecosystem, influencing lives from the smallest insects that depend on the flourishing vegetation to the greatest migratory herds that share this sun-baked realm. To call the lion king of the savannah is not just poetry, it is a profound ecological reality. Where lions prosper, a dynamic equilibrium follows. Their presence is a barometer for the health of the entire system. Their movements and hunting grounds steer the vast columns of wildebeest and zebra, which, in turn, shapes the very land, aerating the soil and dispersing seeds with their pounding hooves. A robust lion population signals a functioning, resilient ecosystem. Even their leftovers play a critical role, providing a reliable source of food for a guild of scavengers, from hyenas and jackals to vultures circling high above. Nothing goes to waste. Predator and prey are bound by these intricate and ancient connections, a timeless dance of survival that unfolds day and night beneath the immense African sky. It is a world of sharp contrasts and profound sensory richness, governed by the presence of its top predator. But the roar is only the most audible form of communication. An invisible language of scent, left on bushes, trees, and the earth itself, carries equally vital messages about territory, status, and readiness to mate, creating a chemical landscape legible only to those who belong. The lion's domain is not just what it can see, but what it can sense, control, and sustain. To behold a lion is to witness concentrated power, an ancient and visceral force captured in flesh and bone. There is a profound stillness in its presence, a quiet confidence that speaks of its place at the apex of this ecosystem. Its gaze alone, a steady, amber stare, seems to hold the wisdom of the savannah itself, assessing the world with an unnerving intelligence. An adult male is truly formidable, a physical marvel of the natural world. Tipping the scales at between 150 and 250 kilograms, this is no lean predator. It is a mass of muscle and heavy bone, a structure designed for brute force and impact. Every element of its form is built for function, a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. The immense shoulders anchor crushing forelimbs, each paw armed with retractable claws that can measure over an inch long, perfect for gripping and tearing. With this combination of weight and weaponry, it can subdue prey many times its size, but this power comes at a cost. The lion is no marathoner. Its heavy build is not suited for long-distance pursuit. Instead, it is engineered for devastating bursts of speed, an explosion of anaerobic power. From a standstill, it can reach speeds of nearly 80 kilometers per hour, erasing critical distance in a heartbeat. Yet, the male's most defining signature is his mane, a feature as much for show as for survival. Its color varies dramatically, ranging from a sun-bleached blonde to a deep, imposing coal dark. This variation is not random. Darker, fuller manes often indicate higher testosterone levels and better health, a fact not lost on rivals or potential mates. Visually, it exaggerates size, creating a more intimidating silhouette, and in combat, it serves as vital padding, shielding the throat and neck during brutal territorial fights. It is a bold, honest signal of fitness and maturity, a crown that declares status across the open plains. Beyond the mane, the lion's tawny coat blends flawlessly with the land it commands. Its hues shift from pale sand to deep gold, mirroring the dry grasses and rich earth of its habitat. This camouflage is most effective in the half-light of dawn and dusk, the liminal hours when the lion is at the peak of its activity, melting into the shadows to become a ghost in the grass. Unlike most wildcats, lions are intensely social. They live in cohesive prides, complex families centered on related females, sisters, mothers, cousins and daughters, often lifelong members. They raise young and secure food as a unit. Bonds are forged by hunts and mutual defense. Males, often in coalitions, hold tenure by force and vigilance. Their job is defense, patrolling, marking, roaring. They may rest up to 20 hours a day, a deceptive stillness, the calm before the storm, power conserved for decisive moments, then released in breathtaking speed and coordination. Their rule over grasslands reaffirmed. Well, you know, it's impressive. The hunt showcases strategy and teamwork. Lionesses fan out using cover and terrain. A weaker or isolated animal is chosen. For a lion pride, territory is everything. It is their kingdom, their pantry, and their nursery, a carefully managed domain that provides the essential resources for survival, a reliable supply of food, access to precious water, and the relative safety needed to raise the next generation. A pride's very existence is written on the landscape it controls. The size of this kingdom is not fixed. It expands and contracts based on the richness of the land. In the prey-dense grasslands of the Serengeti, a territory might span a mere 20 square kilometers, teeming with wildebeest and zebra. But in the arid, unforgiving landscapes of the Kalahari Desert, where resources are scarce and scattered, a pride may need to patrol an area exceeding 400 square kilometers just to find enough to eat. Patrolling these boundaries is a constant duty. They lay down a chemical fence, a complex tapestry of scents that declares ownership. By rubbing facial glands on bushes and spraying a mixture of urine and scent gland secretions, they create a bulletin board for any lion that passes. This land is taken. The message communicates the pride's identity, its strength, and even the reproductive status of its females. Trespass invites fierce resistance. While some encounters are resolved with intimidating displays, a direct challenge can escalate into a brutal, often fatal confrontation. The most powerful broadcast of all is the roar. It's an acoustic beacon that can travel up to 8 kilometers. A declaration of dominance that advertises the male's strength, helps maintain spacing between prides, and serves as a rallying cry to gather scattered members in the vast darkness. For a nomadic wanderer, this roar is a vital piece of intelligence. From a safe distance, he can gauge the number of males, their size, and their condition before ever considering the immense risk of a challenge. Within the security of the territory, the cycle of life continues. After a gestation period of about 110 days, a pregnant lioness will retreat from her pride, seeking out a hidden, secluded den in dense thickets or rocky outcrops to give birth alone. She delivers a litter of 1 to 6 cubs, each weighing little more than a kilogram. Born with their eyes sealed shut, they are blind, helpless, and utterly dependent on their mother for warmth, nourishment, and protection. For the first few weeks, her world shrinks to this secret nursery. But she cannot stay indefinitely. Hunger forces her to leave them to hunt, and every short absence is fraught with peril. The scent of new life is an irresistible draw for a host of predators. Hyenas, leopards, and even rival male lions pose a mortal threat to the vulnerable cubs. The odds are stacked against them. Only around 1 in 5 may survive to see their first birthday. But rejoining the pride dramatically improves their chances. Here, the principle of "it takes a village" is a matter of life and death. Lionesses practice communal nursing, allowing cubs to suckle from any lactating female. These vigilant aunties provide shared protection, boosting survival rates significantly. Yet, the greatest danger can come from their own kind. When a new coalition of males violently takes over a pride, they often kill all existing cubs. This brutal act of infanticide serves a chillingly strategic purpose. It brings the females into estrus sooner, allowing the new males to sire their own offspring and secure their genetic legacy. For the cubs that survive these early trials, life becomes an extended apprenticeship. Seemingly innocent play is, in fact, crucial training. They wrestle, stalk, and pounce, honing the reflexes and coordination of tomorrow's hunters. They learn by observing the adults, mastering the complex strategies of a cooperative hunt that will one day sustain the pride. But today, the ancient challenges of survival are dwarfed by a new pervasive threat: human expansion. Their vast territories are being carved up by roads, farms, and settlements. This habitat loss and fragmentation isolates prides and shrinks their hunting grounds. As their natural prey declines, lions are increasingly pushed towards the edges of human habitation, where cattle, sheep, and goats present an easy but dangerous alternative. This inevitably fuels conflict. For pastoralist communities, the loss of livestock is devastating, and retaliatory killings of lions are a common and tragic consequence. Combined with the ever-present threat of poaching for the illegal wildlife trade, the pressure on lion populations is immense. The numbers tell a stark story. From an estimated population of over 200,000 just a century ago, fewer than 25,000 African lions remain in the wild today, a catastrophic decline of nearly 90%. The king of the savannah is now a vulnerable species, ruling over a shrinking and fractured kingdom.